please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So it's Sunday morning for me. No, it's not. It's Monday morning for me. My head's completely blown. I had a Jewish holiday yesterday on Sunday, and so my week's starting a day later. So not just me, my entire freaking country. We all had the day off yesterday, right? Sunday's normally our Monday. We don't get Sunday in Israel, but so we're all a bit discombobulated. It's Monday morning for me, which I guess is kind of like the same for you. And I'm thinking this morning of the very, very, very good Kevin Davis documentary, More Than 30 Years in the TARDIS. I believe it's on the Sharda Blu-ray that they released. Is it also? It must be on the season 17 Blu-ray box set as well. I believe it's probably on the Sharda DVD as well. Very, very, very good documentary. Very, very good documentary where they had, it was a little bit controversial at the time because it got massively cut down and a bunch of new interviews recorded. So one of the interviews, and I'm not sure if this is one that Kevin Davis did or this is one they inserted to make it more popularist, was Toyah Willcox. Do you remember Toyah Willcox? I remember Toyah. I am of that age. I remember Toyah Willcox. I always get kind of mixed up with Hazel O'Connor because they were basically interchangeable at the same time. And I apologize to both Toyah and Hazel O'Connor. You're not interchangeable. You're both unique and very valuable. But in my head, kind of interchangeable. Interchangeable. But anyway, so Toyah. By the way, complete aside, if you can find it, there's a thing called The Disputation with Toyah in it and Christopher Lee and who is it? The guy, Peter Jellicoe, the guy who played with the Castellan in The Invasion of Time, I believe, right? So what it is, it's the King of Barcelona. It's a true story. King of Barcelona, in about the 15th century, around there, the Crusades are going on, and all the other countries in Europe are turfing the Jews out, right? They're expelling the Jews. So the King of Barcelona, he's actually a little bit more fair-minded, and he wants there to be a disputation, a debate between Christianity and Judaism. And so there's this big debate. It was on the Jew side. They have Maimonides, Rabbi Moses ben Maimon, I think. Moses ben Maimon, one of the all-time great thinkers of all time. Yeah, like this guy. If you don't know anything about Jewish law, this guy is very, very clever, very, very, very clever indeed. And he was squaring off against a Jewish convert, a Jew who converted to Christianity, basically because that's where the power was at the time. And he was called Roma Christiani, I think, but he was paid by Jellicoe. Well, I can't remember his name. He always plays like the sort of villainous type characters. I can't remember. Was it Deadly Assassin or was it Invasion of Time? He's like he gets framed for something and he's found dead, or is it Five Doctors? It's one of those ones. Like he had a collar on anyway. And Christopher Lee plays the King of Barcelona. It's fantastic. It was back in the 70s when BBC would just do these awesome, like just the freaking awesome little hour and a half movies out of nowhere. It's really good. Go check it out. Anyway, I digress. Why am I talking about Toyah, right? Because Toyah did a documentary and she talked about how Patrick Troughton William Hartnell regenerated Patrick Troughton. And she said, I was really miffed, right? I was really, really miffed. And then about a week later, all she could think about was Patrick Troughton. She says, yeah, that just shows you how fickle we are. And then she goes off and talks about like this rubber fetish she had with the Cybermen, which I kind of hear, right? I'm not into it, but I can see why people would be. But my point is this. After this lengthy introduction, nothing ever changes. I was looking at a Screenrant. Now, Screenrant, I think, is a great place to take the pulse of the shill media, especially in terms of Doctor Who, because they're always very, very shilly. And boy, are they not interested in Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker. They are yesterday's news. They are very fickle. They are under the bus. Now it's all RTD. All RTD and Ncuti. Now, personally, I'm really into RTD and Ncuti. I'm really, and I know a lot of you out there think I'm wrong, which is groovy. Do you remember back in those weird dim mists of the time where we could disagree and it was okay? And look, I'm going to find out sooner or later. Is it going to be shit? I know. I think it's going to be quite a bit of eye of the beholder. Although, okay, weird thing I noticed, right? I had this Jewish holiday, so I was hanging around with my neighbours a lot, wherever was offline. Yeah, it's very nice, very, very, very lovely weather. Anyway, and when people are talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi, Normies freaking love the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. They absolutely adore it. They do not see the degeneration of another beloved character, and there's like, oh, she doesn't see how what a really boring, empty character Reva is. I mean, essentially, you have all these cool like Sith Jedi villains, bits sticking in them, and they're frightening, and a black woman. And that's it. That is the entirety of the main character. She's a black woman. That's it. There's nothing else about her whatsoever other than she's a black. And I guess the actress is doing the best with the role possible, but like, there's not much there. In all fairness, right? There's really not much there. How did I get into that? I don't know. Norm is like. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh yes, I'm talking about Screenrant. How they is a good place to take the pulse of the show media, and they are over Chris Chibnall altogether. One thing that I think liberal progressives really can't stand more than anything else is failure. They absolutely hate failure and being connected with failure. That's why they'll deny failure over relentlessly. Absolutely relentless. Even as the world burns down around it. No, they things don't matter much. But didn't you say they mattered an awful lot when they were good? No, that's Russian propaganda. Bigot. That's right. I wish that wasn't an accurate description of how these conversations go down, but it really is, isn't it? Anyway, so we're going to look at an article, or maybe two, from Screenrant. So let's see how long they take to go to, and it really does show you the juxtaposition of where we are with this right now. Before we get into it, like, share, subscribe, comment, sign up to my Substack, sign up to my paid Substack now. I've just finished this 50-day YouTube program. I got to make lists in general, YouTube lists, which was just a major suck on time and resources. And normally I like being majorly sucked. Okay, I really enjoy being majorly sucked. Not so much that time at all. So I got some breathing room. So I'm hoping today, I've said this so many times, I'm hoping today send stuff out to the subscribers and start like using the Substack again. Now I got like a little bit more. It was only like a half-hour video a day, but boy, did that just rock my bloody world. When I say only half-hour video a day, that's a lot of work. That's a lot. I mean, honestly, it's a good hour a day's work. That takes a big chunk out of your life. And then you got to answer the comments. There's probably even more. Times up by 50. That's a big investment of time. 50. That's it's over a full week's worth. Anyway, so I have more time. But if you know what a Substack is, it's a email newsletter. So it's all in the video notes. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. I have 70 comments. Been offline 2 days. 70 comments. When I did a quick look a few hours ago. Well, it's probably more now. That I have to get to. I endeavor to answer all the comments. If you take the time to tell me what you think, I got to respond some way. Normally it's just a snarky, often smutty comeback, but that's really about it. Yes, okay, like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. Let's start reading this first story, right? I came out of being offline for 2 days and found this on my first peruse around the Doctor Who world. I'm like, mwah! Mamma mia! It's just perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It doesn't get much better than this. Doctor Who's shocking showrunner mission reveals its real problem. Now, I haven't read this article. I am really intrigued because this publication have told me in no uncertain terms that Jodie Whittaker's era is the bestest ever. And if anybody doesn't like it, they just don't like women. Don't like women. I mean, who doesn't like women? I mean, honestly, have you ever met anybody? Oh, soddy women. Ugh. No, I'll go one step further, right? I'm a freelancer. I have many employers, right? I've had many bosses. Not once have I gone, oh no, she's got a vagina. I mean, not that women have vaginas exclusively now. She's got a vagina. I mean, that's happened absolutely never. I don't understand. I really genuinely don't understand. But okay, there we go. So let's find out what they have to say. A shocking admission from outgoing Doctor Who showrunner Chris Chibnall highlights the fundamental problem with the show. Chris Chibnall is the fundamental problem with the show. I mean, Chris Chibnall and the ideology of television production, which he represents, which is just completely bankrupt, right? Just creatively completely bankrupt. And I have to say, over and over and over again, it's clearly trying to install some kind of ideological message. One of the reasons that people are really, I'm not sure what the norm is. The norm is I spoke to like Obi-Wan Kenobi, but like the fan response has been really magnificently awful, right? Why? Because it's just more of the same, more of deconstructing and taking apart heroes. I think probably to denigrate male heroes, because I think Kathleen Kennedy probably had to suck a cock or two at some point in her life and was very upset about it, right? When I say had to, chose to further her career. Now, is it good that Hollywood is a society where people often have to suck a cock to further their career? Is that good? No. No, I don't think it's good. Should sex in any way be transactional? No. That's very, very bad, right? Does that mean you can fuck up the Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, and God help us, probably Indiana Jones? No! No, it bloody doesn't, okay? Now, and this is the ideology that Chris Chibnall lives by. So they hide behind casting somebody on their progressive stack, somebody who they feel needs their white savior help. So, Doctor Who's case, it was a lady. Ladies need help. In Obi-Wan Kenobi's case, it's a black lady. So they really, they're so much better than Christian. But it's basically, he's a bloody Chibnall and the ideology that he lives behind. Fine. Despite a promising start, it didn't have one. We just didn't realize how bad it was. Okay, that's not a promising start. Okay. The Broadchurch creator, tenuous Doctor Who boss, has seen the BBC series lose the spark that once made it unmissable television. The drop in quality, again, you said it was the bestest ever, mate. I'm sorry. The drop in quality has been matched by a dropping of viewership. How many times have they fought so hard to not admit that, right? And many humans lay the blame squarely on Chibnall's weak Doctor Who era as showrunner. Well, person in charge is ultimately to blame for everything, right? It always amazes me, right, when whatever disaster is going down in America, right? Whatever, inflation, immigration, whatever it is. Whatever they will out Joe Biden, he's like, the buck stop with me, and then he goes on to say, well, it's not his fault. I mean, really, you can't have it both ways. It's one or the bloody other, mate. One or the other. Fine. So that's why he's being blamed, because he's in charge, and he made all the creative decisions, and they were universally awful, in my opinion, including the casting of Jodie Whittaker, who is just atrocious in this role. I mean, genuinely atrocious. With Chibnall down to his final episode of the show, thank God for that. He recently sat down with Doctor Who magazine to reflect on his time as showrunner. Oh boy, I went over those interviews with a fine-tooth comb, and boy, did we take the piss. Thank you so much, Chris Chibnall, Doctor Who magazine. While generally positive about his tenure, of course he is. Have you ever? I mean, people in general can't admit they're wrong. Ever. I'm very pro-life, and we're talking about abortion, right? But most people pro-life will never admit that a baby in utero is biologically subsumed by the mother, right? It's in the mother. It's dependent on the mother. Yes, a newborn baby is equally dependent on somebody else to live. Otherwise, it will die. But it's like a physical connection. So when women say it's my body, and people say no, it's not necessary. I think it's fair to say the baby could be considered part of the woman's body in terms of she gets a choice of what's happened. What the other side never admits though is aborting babies, which I'm not I think there's sometimes needs for that. Absolutely. Honestly, I'm with the Bill Clinton way of looking at things from about 20 years ago, where it says safe, legal, and rare. I don't want to see backstreet abortions, but whatever it is, it's probably killing somebody, right? It's probably killing someone. So, two things can be true at once, but nobody ever admits anything, ever. which is a bit weird because we're all wrong many, many, many times in our life. I mean, really, who has it's like saying you never poop. I mean, really? I bet you do. No, never pooped before. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm doing it now. No. Anyway, so with Chibnall having penned his final episode of the show, he recently sat down. Said Doctor Who magazine to reflect on like, okay, while positive about his tenure, yes, the writer did admit dissatisfaction with the season 11 finale. I mean, that was really no worse than any of the other seasons. They're all awful. The Battle of Ranskor of Kolos. Now, okay, one of the big things wrong with that is the name. Ranskor of Kolos means nothing to anybody. It's the same as Jodie Whittaker, because she can't understand how to use a sonic screwdriver. She's going, give up, we've been around. No. I know it's not real, right? I know it's pretend, but like, Peter Capaldi, Matt Smith, David Tennant, Chris Eccleston, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, Paul McGann, Peter Davison, Tom Baker, John Pertwee, and Patrick Troughton, and if you add up, I'm sure William Hartnell as well, would all have been able to make it appear as if it was some kind of instrument. John Hurt too, right? All were able to make it appear as if it actually did something. It wasn't like a magic wand. But again, there's so many things that bad with. Singling the episode out as his worst run, with the story rated as a lowly 3.5 on IMDb, it's clear that Chibnall wasn't the only one underwhelmed with the episode. All his episodes are rated badly. I mean, really? Even the Daleks had a Dalek that couldn't open a door. It's not like going upstairs. It's opening a fucking door with a gun, with a special big gun that was supposed to be more scary. Was the door special? No, it was a piece of corrugated iron. And the door was like, pew, 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 pew. Oh, can't get through this. Bollocks, cannot get through corrugated iron door. What the hell? Although, direction on that episode, I think was excellent. I am hoping Rusty Davis brings that director over, who was a diversity hire, right? Listen, if you're hired because of your skin color, you're a diversity hire, and that's why she was hired. Okay, which is what they say. I don't understand. They say, "Oh, I'm very proud to bring in people of color." Okay, so it's a diversity hire. No, you can't have it both ways, but she's very good. Yes, she was very good, but she's also a diversity hire because you hired her because of diversity. I don't understand. By the way, I'm watching was it a trailer for this new documentary on Daily Wire, which I might actually sign up to Daily Wire for, called What is a Woman? Right, because it's like, apparently we can't define nowadays, right? What is a woman? So there's somebody who looks like a biological male who presents as female, right? I'm not assuming, I'm saying what it looked like to me. And I think men don't get to choose what women are. Only women get to choose what women are. Only women can choose what women are. And so it was Matt Walsh. He says, okay, what is the cat? And she's like, and walks away, right? It's it's really funny. Clearly wasn't really underway with it, but the showrunner's explanation of why the finale underperformed should shock its defenders and critics alike. Yes, his explanation was shocking that he didn't have enough time. Why are you so lazy, mate? Okay? What, don't have enough time? Stay up late and work harder. You had 10 episodes to write. 10 episodes. And you passed about most of those. I mean, like, don't tell me about production being different. Oh, we can't do the 13, 14 episodes like we did. You can still write them. Write them isn't so hard. You could write them if you weren't lazy fuckers, right? You couldn't you? But no, you can't. Remarkably, Chibnall retrospectively interview saw the writer reveal the version of the Battle of Ranskor of Kolos went into production was only his first draft. Right, feels like most of his other stories as well. Most of the other stories. With Doctor Who Season 11 receiving half the episodes written by its docu debutantes, much of the showrunner's time was taken up making sure the unseasoned scripts were fit for production. Well, how about this? why not do a little bit less diversity hiring, right? And like, I don't know, hire people who have a track record of being able to write Doctor Who, and you got plenty of like woke people, liberal progressive people who fit out. And Paul Cornell was basically on his knees sucking your cock, right? And I think Kathleen Kennedy would be like, you don't want to do that. But was basically Christian, please. I mean, during the lockdowns, not a looking, mate, not even a looking. He could have written one, right? I don't like Paul Cornell. I think he's a very good writer, right? There's so many female writers they could have gone. How about try and dig up Kate Orman from the ashes, like a genuine feminist, right? Somebody who I could actually respect. The Jacqueline Rayner. There's so many. I mean, really, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. What, you can't find a black person to write Doctor Who? Really? I mean, get Tom Martin. He knows what he's doing. I don't understand. What world do you live in that you just got to get people who have no clue about Doctor Who have to have the fashionable identity? I'm sure you could have found a trans Doctor Who writer. It can't have been hard. Although that was back then, it wasn't a thing, was it? Anyway, I digress. Showrun was taken up by leaving him with less time to work on his own stories. However, this does point to Chibnall being an incompetent showrunner and singularly poor with time management. Yes, it does, and the fact he didn't realise that, right? He didn't realise it at all. Bit embarrassing, really. A wee little bit embarrassing, isn't it? However, this does not point to Chibnall being... Wait, 1 second. It said this does not? Well, let's try this again. However, this does not point to Chibnall being an incompetent showrunner and simply poor time man. Yes, it does. How does it not? Okay, well, I'm sure you'll explain this. Rather, it highlights Doctor Who as a fundamental problem with production culture, which is far too much creative pressure placed on the showrunner, and a Herculean effort is necessary to keep the show afloat. Doctor Who really does work well with a single creative vision. I'm really a believer. A combined creative vision. I mean, look, the JNT years were essentially JNT and whichever script editor he had. I mean, that's why it fell apart so much with Eric Saywood, right? They just hated each other. But JNT and what's his name? I can't believe I can't remember his name. Andrew, no, what's his name? The Seth McCoy show, script letter. That was very much his vision. It's always worked best. Hinchcliffe and Robert Holmes, right? I love the interview. I think it was on the season 14 Blu-ray. They got these great Matthew Sweet interviews. Can't wait for the season 22 Blu-ray. It's coming out in about 2-3 weeks. It's going to be so good. And it's got 3 of those interviews. So I had a Matthew Sweet interview with Philip Hinchcliffe, and he was explaining, this vision was very much a combined vision of his and Robert Holmes. And you can very much hear that in the stuff Big Finish do with just Philip Hinchcliffe. It's missing that Holmesian spin. So you blimey. So you're not gonna point out, the identity politics and hiring people who can't do the job, right? No, it's nothing to do with that. It's all just this. Okay. Indeed, with Chibnall having previously admitted to Doctor Who magazine, the show is one of the most difficult to produce. Everybody admits that. Philip Hinchcliffe in the same interview said, Doctor Who is a show that finds you out. It gives you no cover to hide. You can't do any tricks to pretend you know what you're doing. No, you either have the ability to do it or you don't. And if you don't, it's very, very, very obvious, right? Very obvious indeed. And you can really see that with lots of the unproduced scripts. We'll say Doctor Who magazine did in the 90s. They did a bunch of those. There was one, a Colin Baker one, where it was like each episode was given like a William Hartnell-esque title. It's like Puffball or something, and it just so didn't work. Also, Philip Martin's Mission to Magnus. My God, how did that ever get paid for? It's so embarrassing. It's so if I'm saying that's outrageously sexist, it's outrageously sexist, and still no Perry in a bikini all the way through. So I think it fails on every level. It's easy to the writer was reluctant to take over. Easy why the writer was reluctant to take over the job in the first place. Yeah, man. What's wrong with Toby Whithouse? I bet the BBC wanted Chibnall because he's going to give them what they want. What they wanted. Oh, Doctor Who is in its best position ever editorially. Yeah, which God, how'd that work out for you, Mr. Wenger, a director of BBC drama? Was it? What an awful tenure you have. They destroyed the BBC. Then they moved on. Well, his predecessor, Rusty Davis, was hugely talented, and Stephen Moffat is hugely talented. May have been able to thrive under so much pressure. Their success masks what is ultimately a flawed, unsustainable arrangement. How can it be flawed and unsustainable if everybody else managed it other than Chibnall? Right? Yeah, it's flawed and unsustainable if you then bring in unqualified hacks to do bollocks, right? Yes, then it's very flawed and very, very unsustainable. If you get people who can actually do the job, that might do the trick. I mean, honestly, I did a video on Q&A on Saturday about Noel Clarke, his anti-cancelling. Yeah, are you really trying to tell me like a powerhouse talent like him, whether you like him or not? The guy is a powerhouse talent, right? He writes, he directs, he produces. He's a powerhouse talent in the industry. He was given a BAFTA for his service, then they took it away, and I hope he wins that court case against them. You're right. You telling me he couldn't do it? Of course he could, right? Anybody who can write, Toby Whithouse could have done it. So many people could have done it. J. Michael Straczynski could have done it. You remember he threw his hat in the ring when they're looking for something. So many people could have done it. Chris Chibnall couldn't because he's basically not a writer, right? He's somebody who's faked it his entire life, right? And I think this is the first time he really was pulled up on it. The success ultimately season 11 required Chibnall to provide 5 full episodes of his own, as well as help review and revise a number again, which signifies the burden far beyond the industry standard. Excuse me, was it 2005 season? Rusty Davis did exactly the same. In fact, the only person he really didn't have to breathe down the neck of was Stephen Moffat, right? Even Mark Gatiss stuff needed the script to be torn apart and put back together again, apparently, right? They changed a lot, and it's much more so in the next season, right? The Sideman two-parter was essentially written by Rusty Davis, and I can't remember who it was. The person it was bringing in, trying to give a boost to. But yeah, look, if you can write, it's not hard to write. If you can't write, it's very hard to write. Wait. So, season 11 required Chibnall to provide, as well as help revise the number again, which signifies a burden far beyond the industry standard. If the Doctor Who boss was not willing to put in a significant amount of overtime to refine the scripts, this does not reflect some kind of unique character fault. Yes, it does! Idiot! Yes, it does! Right? It absolutely does, because if everybody else can do it, why not? Yeah, I'll give you an example, right? There's a guy who converted to Judaism, right? And when you convert to Judaism, it's really bizarre, right? It's not hard to do. The Jewish responses, you always got to try and talk them out of it. So, again, not hard, right? Not hard, right? And so the guy's going through all the things you got to do, how much this is. Food's going to cost triple the price, which it does, and you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do. It's a burdensome life, right? There's a lot you have to do to be Orthodox Jewish, right? And so, the guy who was talking about converting, he went through, he talked to the rabbi. Rabbi said, you got to do it. When I said, it's off, don't do it. No, we're born into it. But you can, and also, honestly, you were supposed to be able to attain spiritual perfection, not as a Jew as well. So there's really little upside. But he went through all the things that you have to do. And the guy said, yeah, that sounds awful, but you got one problem. I said, what's the problem? He said, I'm looking at you. You don't look so special to me. Do you do all this stuff? He said, yeah. So if you can do it, I can do it. If everybody else can do it and you're the first person not to be able to do it, you might be a bit of a loser, right? You might be a bit of a loser. But a system that must change going forward. No, that's why they brought back Rusty Davis. You utter, what's it called? Knuckle dragging dolt. That's exactly why Rusty Davis is coming back. Of course, Doctor Who's notoriously tight budget has played some significant role in the setup, enduring well for over a decade. No, blimey, this is bollocks and a half, isn't it? However, the future seasons of the show to be made by private production company Bad Wolf in an unprecedented move away from BBC control, because BBC is going under, right? This is an escape raft for Doctor Who. BBC is totally going under. Not tomorrow, but its days are numbered, and we all know it, right? We all know it. This is going to help to alleviate the burden on one of the totemic figurehead, while maintaining a consistent high-level storytelling that the viewers deserve. Excuse me, idiot, and I'm saying that word nicely. Season 11 was the first one to get rid of individual writers and replace it with a writer's room. How'd that work out? That's exactly what you're suggesting. God, I mean, really? I don't understand how you walk around being as stupid as you are, but it's congratulations that you do. With the reappointment of Rusty Davis as showrunner, it's hard to be not to be excited about Doctor Who's future. Oh, really? But he's going to do exactly what you tell him that just says shouldn't happen. However, the fact that the show could not find both a new person willing and experienced to take over Chris Chibnall's place is a real cause for concern. Because Chris Chibnall turned it into radioactive slag. Utter moron, and quite frankly, a radioactive slag would have been a better villain than pretty much anything that we saw from Chibnall's era. Nobody wanted to bloody touch it. It was destroyed. It was dead. It was over. They thought they weren't handing on to anybody, right? I mean, if Whittaker is going to regenerate into David Tennant, it's going to be a lately filmed insertion, right? That they're going to put in, and you know. Here's what I think is going to happen. That probably Whittaker will regenerate into Tennant. However, when we see Tennant in his first episode, it's going to be possible to retcon away the entire Jodie era. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm intrigued to see. Right? I mean, I am certainly intrigued to see. I'm not intrigued to see the last. Chibnall Whittaker episode, but I got it's an hour and a half. Oh my god, that's just torture. Really, it really is. Finally, has a chance to address its workload issues and ensure the role of showrunner is both coveted and comfortable. God, these weak little idiots, they're just worried about comfort, right? No pain, comfort. Yeah, no pain, no gain. There it goes. Well, this comes too late to save Chibnall's run. It's Chibnall that destroyed Chibnall's run. I mean, Whittaker did help lay some explosives as well, with, again, her epically bad performance. It could help Doctor Who move away from the untenable working culture and the present show with a path to sustainable long-term success. The reason Rusty Davis is coming back, because he left it with sustainable long-term success. Utter moron. Leaving first draft finale is a thing of the past. Again, isn't that Chris Chibnall's very bad at time management and incompetent? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, yeah, God bless them. God bless them, Screenrant. While they're finally admitting that the Chibnall era is the worst ever. Now they only have eyes. They only have eyes for Ncuti, right? Let's see what they got to say here. Rusty Davis is reinventing Doctor Who's approach for fan engagement as he introduces the 14th Doctor and a small call that bodes well. A smart call that bodes well, right? Let's see what. And this is by their number one correspondent, Thomas Bacon, right? Such a shill for the Chibnall era. Doctor Who promises to be very different in 2023. Much more exciting than the last few difficult ones of Doctor Who. Again. I like, How is it you just completely ignoring your part in it makes it go away? I don't understand. I don't understand. 13th Doctor Jodie Whittaker is a tremendous actress. No, she's not. Okay, if the function of an actress is to make one believe that what they're seeing is real, she's not very good. Again, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you've got, was it Moses Ingram? Doesn't convince me she's a real... Everybody else does, right? Moses Ingram, not at all. She's like, I'm a black woman, style. That's it. That's her whole character. It's not me writing it. It's not me being racist. It's them. And it's so funny that Disney wheeled out a fake racism thing to protect and promote the show. It's like, really? Disney's calling other people racist? I mean, you don't remember John Boyega? No, that doesn't... No, okay, apparently not. But just like this guy doesn't remember him shilling for Whittaker. But she seemed to have struggled to define her character. Maybe this, when Christian was saying, "I don't bother looking at the other doctors, it's just going to confuse you." I mean, if it will confuse you, he might not be the right person for the job. The 13th Doctor era is unfortunately largely defined by the Timeless Child retcon, which revealed the Doctor is not a Time Lord at all, but rather... Okay. Do you really think Russell T Davies is going to make Doctor Who not a Time Lord? I don't think so. Rather being who potentially predates the universe itself and who became the base genetic code for every Gallifreyan. No, every Time Lord! Basic law. Okay, Time Lords and Gallifreyans are different things. Who lived in the Citadel. The controversial retcon continues to divide the fan base. No, united us. We all think it's shit. Okay, everybody thinks it's shit. Matt has been helped by a lackluster marketing. Again, Chris Chibnall, mate. Chris Chibnall. There have been flashes of brilliance, like the tremendous Find the Doctor viral campaign of Doctor Who. No, it wasn't tremendous because nobody did it. Nobody cared, right? Although I think Flux still the best thing they've done. It's unwatchable, but still the best thing they've done. It's been clear that the marketing team have lacked any real budget. No, this is Chris Chibnall not wanting to divulge anything. Current showrunner Chris Chibnall has been very tight-lipped approach to spoilers because he hates dealing with press, basically, which is a fundamental part of the job, right? Going back to JNT, right? I mean, like that was really the thing. He was great. That's one thing that made him redefine the role of producer. He was fantastic at dealing with press. Totally about this was, and the result online discussion has fizzled out for lack of basic information and interest, right? When Doctor Who Flux introduced a new companion named Dan, whose surname and occupation were treated as though they were major spoilers. God, I remember. Yeah, who cares, right? But to Chris Chibnall, everything's a major spoiler because he's a boring person. Even now, viewers don't have a title for the upcoming Doctor Who Centenary special, in which Whittaker will regenerate with help from Tegan and Ace. I mean, is it really obvious that Janet Fielder said, "Oh, bloody hell, these sexists don't like Jodie Whittaker because they're just sexist. There's no other reason. Anybody couldn't like." Have you ever tried watching this? Oh, Janet, darling, you've done what's it called again? Behind the Sofa on the Blu-rays, right? We watch the shows and you comment on them. Do that for the Jodie era, and you tell me how stunning and brave. And be honest. I mean, how long can you go before you're like, no, this is the worst shit ever. The radio silence from the current team is leading attention to move to 2023, when Russell T Davies will return as the once and future showrunner. Filming has already begun for the 60th special, which features an unexpected return of fan favourite David Tennant and Catherine Tate, probably playing different roles. Right, that rumour was on the money, apparently. Look at that. Who'd have believed it? I poo-pooed it. Meanwhile, Davis has already cast Ncuti Gatwa as the 14th Doctor, while Yasmin Finney is joining the TARDIS as well as a character named Rose, who's believed to be the daughter of Tate's former companion, Donna. Sort of. Maybe. I guess we're all going to find out. In contrast to Chibnall, Davis welcomes whovians to visiting Ncuti and allows countless of Doctor Who set photos to circulate online, well aware they're simply building up a sense of excitement. Okay, Russell T Davies is superior in every freaking way to Chris Chibnall. I mean, he wears better shoes, right? He is superior in every single way. Quite frankly, if I'm using Russell T Davies and Chris Chibnall as role models about how I should live my life, I am seriously reconsidering my my avowed heterosexuality, right? But not that much. He occasionally asks people not to share what they overhear, but for the most part, they're doing what they ask because they're all excited because he's so happy and he just is very, very infectious. David understands that engagement is an important part of marketing and he's allowing the fan base to feel involved in the production itself. Yes, because it's... Yes! He's even promised to resume his old production on Karney Doctor Who magazine. Yes! Oh, I can't wait. See, this is what I said I was excited about. The excitement. I was excited about the excitement. And, I could spend the next year and a half going, it's gonna suck. It's all gonna be bad. But, I don't want to live that life, mate, right? It could be. I'm basically an optimistic person, and I just think the signs are more positive than negative, right? I understand Yasmin Finney is a red line for a lot of people. I don't think you should have those red lines, honestly. Because that makes the crazes correct, right? The crazes say, oh, you want a gay erasure. And apparently you do, right? If a background character, which is what it appears to be, is a deal breaker for you, it's you want erasure, right? That's correct, right? If she's a companion, if it's like a major, but if the transness of it is a major part of the character, major part of the production, then yeah, I think it's going to fail. I don't think it's going to be the case. I mean, when you see Captain Jack, right? Yes, he's gay. We know he's gay. That's not how his character's defined, right? His character is a cheeky, bombastic, kick-ass fighter, right? Fighter for good. Like them being gay is like a small section of the entirety of what it is, because Russell T Davies can write characters, and guess what people are? People are a collection of ideas. Chibnall can't do that because he's a moron, right? He can barely hold one idea in his head, and that probably hurts him too. He probably has to get Matt Stevens to like massage his temples. Oh man, it's too much to me think about. Let's just focus on Jodie Whittaker's a lady. Yeah, okay. Meanwhile, besides the BBC promotion, I will be ramped up. The broadcaster advertising for a new brand manager role that has been unwisely discontinued in the Chibnall era. Oh, I can't wait to see the end of that awful logo. Right, that logo on everything, it just marks the decline. Chibnall Shomron has been disappointing, in part because of the story decision, but also because of the flawed approach to the marketing. One that actually limited excitement and inhibited discussion, preventing Doctor Who building up the kind of buzz it deserves. Yes, 100%. But the signs so far suggest that Russell T Davies will return, will herald a different approach to Doctor Who, one that will make the world's longest-running sci-fi science fiction show TV is engaging once more. It's great to see the future seem so secure. And look, this is another reason why I'm on board with the new era, right? This guy, Thomas Bacon, super shill. Super shill. Super liberal progressive, believes everything of the ideology. If he's on board with it and I'm on board for it, man, wouldn't it be great if we could all just be happy and not be at each other's throats? Wouldn't that be, I mean, like, that for me is something that's really worth it, that's really valuable, a valuable thing to shoot for in the future. Will it happen? Maybe I'm a wild-eyed optimist, and really, maybe I am. But maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. I just think there's a lot of reason to be optimistic. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.